Hello, everybody. We are live with Thought Leaders. This is episode number 2 in the series so far, and very excited to have two of the guys who really inspired me, got me into LinkedIn Live, and are the true legends of LinkedIn Live. Damon Pistulka and Kurt Anderson. Guys, welcome to the show. How are you guys today?
Welcome, Greg. Legends in our own mind. Just ask us, right, Damon?
Yeah, maybe in our mom's
not even there, right?
Maybe in our mom's minds.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I don't think there either.
We won't go there. So, Greg,
Yeah.
thank you, man.
Yeah,
What an honor. What a privilege. Longtime friends with you. We actually go back pre-COVID through Chris Lukey, and so this is such an honor, privilege, and congratulations on your new journey here. This is awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, guys, and I'm really looking forward to this because it's finally an episode where I get to ask Kurt Anderson questions, and he has to answer them. You ever sit down with Kurt and it's all about you all the time, right, Damon? I mean, you're the same way, but Kurt is like, hey, are we going to talk about Kurt Anderson? And also, we're going to talk about Damon Pistulka, but we actually might have time to talk about Kurt Anderson today, too. Very excited.
Well, it's about time,
So let me just introduce these guys, give a little bit of background. Kurt Anderson, seasoned entrepreneur, author, digital marketing strategist, dedicating to help manufacturers stop being the best kept secret, the founder of B2B Tail, and the author of Stop Being the Best Kept Secret, which I think is one of the best books, there it is, on manufacturing marketing. Kurt, welcome to the show. Your partner in crime, Damon Pistulka, dynamic business strategist, M&A advisor, co-founder of Exit Your Way, brings over 20 years of transformative leadership across industries like aerospace, automotive, and medical. Also the host of Faces of Business podcasts, and these two co-host the LinkedIn Live series that has been running more than 2 episodes. I think you guys have now been on the air 32 seasons or something like that.
32.
It's called Stop Being the Best Kept Secret, and so I'm really honored you guys are joining me here today.
Well, thank you, Greg. It's a longtime friend, huge admirer. We connected, instant fast friends. We're my admiration. You've shared multiple stories with your dad. We actually had you, your wife, your wonderful son, Sam. I've met Sam in person a couple of times. So I feel like I'm part of the Mischio family. So it's truly a privilege to be here, man. Thank you.
Oh, very awesome. And we've got Evan Benjamin joining us, listening from Florida, hoping to be a thought leader sometime this decade. It can happen, Evan. I believe it. Guys, let's get right into it because I think your story is really going to be what I think a lot of people would be very interested in. Your LinkedIn Live story. Tell us specifically how it happened. How did you guys get into the LinkedIn Live show together? And Damon, why don't you start it out?
Well, I got told, it was like 2018 or something. My friend Jacob Warren said, listen, dude, you got to start doing video. And I was like, look, no way am I doing video. First of all, look at me. Second of all, is nobody wants to hear it. And he said, no, really, you need to start doing it. So that was put the bug in my ear. And then when we came around to 2019, we legitimately had started doing a couple videos, just recording videos for YouTube. And then when COVID started, we were doing some other things we were talking about before we got online here, where we were doing some group meetings on Zoom. And then when Zoom got a little crowded, we were using Remo to really just share things about, what people were going through at the time. Cause it was a upheaval for business and a lot of things like that and stuff that myself and some of the other people we had on there worked through before,
Right.
bad, tough situations. And then, that's how I got started. And it was kind of haphazardly as many of the things I do, and then all of a sudden meet this guy, Kurt Anderson, and he can take it over from there. Cause that's when we really got into what people see us do now.
Well, thank you, Damon. So, what was here? What fascinating? So, like December of 19, I remember I actually bought subscribed to podcast software, and I'm like, I'm going to launch a podcast. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, who wants to listen to me, but I'm just going to go out there and do a podcast. I'm such a technological degenerate. I could not figure it out. I canceled my subscription. I'm like, I'm all right. Apparently, I'm not going to be a podcaster. 3 months later, COVID hits. Damon, you and I, like COVID hit whatever day, I don't know, March 20th. And Damon connects with me on LinkedIn on March 23rd. And I know that because it was my wife's birthday and my wife was out. She comes home and I'm like, hey, I think I met a guy today. And so like Damon and I were like instant best friends. Like we get on a call, like we're totally geeking out and like, oh, what about this? What about this? Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, like we've been best friends ever since. And so COVID's going on. And we're just bringing like, hey, how can we do business? What can we do together? Da 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 da. And so people are starting to do like virtual events, like every Tony Robbins, everybody was moving everything online, and it was coming into fall, and we were like, hey, we're gonna do a fall event. It's gonna be like marketing or e-commerce, manufacturers, blah blah blah, and it became like this trying to eat the elephant. You know, who came up with eating the elephant, by the way? I don't know why I use that expression. That's really disgusting. But so it was a gargantuan task. And so all of a sudden we're like, hey, Damon is like Mr. LinkedIn. So if you don't know Damon, please follow Damon. He puts out phenomenal content on a daily basis. Yes. He goes, hey, I just qualified for this new thing on LinkedIn. And like, it's only certain people got qualified for it. It's called LinkedIn Live. I'm like, dude, let's do LinkedIn Live. And so Greg, our mutual friend, was our very first guest. It was Jeff Long. It was our first week in October in 2020. Yeah. So our 5-year anniversary is coming up in 3 weeks.
Oh, that is so awesome.
So that's the story.
And tell me, guys, you know, the show has been great. It's, you know, I don't think I've seen anybody who's matched your longevity and your consistency. Tell me what it's done, though, for each of you from a business perspective. And Damon, let's start with you.
Well, you can solve so many problems. You've talked to so many people that have solved so many different problems. It's like, I know somebody, like Kurt likes to say, I know a guy or I know a gal. And we know people that are solving the problems every day. And that's really, for me, being like a conduit to help solve problems. It's been a lot of fun. And you get, and Kurt will say this too, I'm sure agree, is like you get a training session each time you talk to somebody that's really good in what they do. You just learn so much.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had people on the show, which I know what they charge for their coaching or consulting. And I'm like, Damon, like, dude, like we just got a free coaching session. And it's like over and over and over hundreds. Yeah. And the thing is like hearing people's stories, the emotion, the power of like their entrepreneurial journey, things that they've gone through. We've had people in tears on the show. I've been in tears on the show.
Yeah.
It's been I'm like getting chills even talking. Like there's almost no compare, and we could go through a whole list. When you're trying to reach out to somebody instead of like a cold call, like, hey, hey, would you jump on our live show? Like, you're doing amazing work. Greg Michaud thinks you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Man, we'd like to showcase and highlight you. Yes, we would love to do that. You know, it's such an easier engagement with somebody, and what a great way to earn trust. But I could go on and on, but there's a whole laundry list of benefits. You know, SEO we could get into, the marketing. Damon, what do you want to add?
Well, I'm punching above our weight, right? I mean, goodness. We had Kurt got the founder of Reebok on. We've had some of these people. I don't even forget the one awesome lady that's summited all 7 peaks of the world and been to the North and South Pole. I mean, who the heck?
Allison. Yeah, we had Allison Levine. We've had Karen Golden, the founder of Hint Water. We had the gentleman that founded Big Ass, I'm sorry to swear, Big Ass Fans. You know, he started it from nothing. It was a bankrupt company. Sold it for $500 million.
$500 million.
Scratch. He came on the show. We've had the editor of Inc. magazine. So I mean, like, these are folks that like we would have never had the opportunity to engage with. You know.
And was there a secret to getting people like that on the show, or is it just a matter of asking, or are people at that level? I always think that they're going to be screening you and not sure if they want to jump on.
Great question. I mean, we've had, and the thing is, I at times, because I love, I'm not sure how would I say that? Like, so Greg, we're part of like this industrial manufacturing marketing community family. So like, I really love having, when I had you, your wife, your son on the show, and like, all the friends that we can, the list would be too long of all the friends that we connect with, the MEPs, our industrial marketing summit friends, all that. So like, we love those conversations. I'm not super aggressive, like Damon saying, punching above the weight, but like on occasion, I'm like, hey, Damon, I'm going to reach out to this person. I'm going to, and we've had plenty of people that either cold shoulder or reject or don't respond, or like we just responded. I just asked a pretty big time person, and his assistant came back, hey, this is so-and-so. Thank you for asking. Unfortunately, we're too busy. Man, I was honored that they, that replied. Closed mouths don't, my sister always says, closed mouths don't get fed, right? Closed mouths don't get fed. So like the answer is always no, unless you ask.
Yeah.
Let's backtrack a little bit. You mentioned earlier that before you started, Kurt, that you big into technology and you're thinking about a podcast. And that's usually the default for most people is go to the podcast. Why LinkedIn Live?
So Damon, I'll answer, and then I'd love to hear your feedback. So the thing is, when I get stuck on something, Damon's phenomenal. Like, he's going to run through a wall to figure something out. And that's a weakness of mine. So before meeting Damon, I'm like, I'm going to do this podcast. I'm telling my daughter I'm going to do it. And then I get to the point where like, okay, I just gave up. I'm not going to do it. When the LinkedIn Live came out, it was just like, he knew the technology. He knew what to do. He's like, hey, just show up on this date and this time. And so really, I'm giving him 100% credit. What are your thoughts, David?
I'm kind of a nerd about that because I just like to figure things out, right? So I'm a tinkerer at heart, and I did a lot of tinkering to get into the early in COVID when we were doing the remote things, but then going into StreamYard and I really enjoyed it because of this. And so when Kurt came around, we said, okay, let's do this. And Kurt help to really lay out the foundation of video. Give you so many options. Audio only gives you a couple options. So video actually allows you to go to YouTube, share the snippets of videos, because when we look across the spectrum of different kinds of media that people like to do, video is very popular compared to writing or other kind of things. And that's really where it starts for us. Plus it allows us to take a video and go to a podcast as well. So you get video, you get audio, you get video, you get the audio, and you get the text version of everything you do from a video, where I can't go backwards from an audio into a video. At least currently you can kind of do it now, but.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who does a podcast, and he said nobody listens to our podcast, but they all watch the video on YouTube that we post afterwards. So You're right. I mean, you've got multiple uses. Let me ask you guys, beyond the show, what are the different ways you use the platform? And Kurt, I'm going to echo what you said about Damon's posting, because Damon, your posts are amazing. The content you put out there is incredible. And I think what's great about it is you were dialed in your style. You guys got to check out Damon's style and what he produces. You seem like you've got a formula, and you keep hitting it time and time again. It's not redundant. It stays fresh. I'm going to start with Damon. Tell me a little bit about how you got to that point with your content and how you use LinkedIn beyond the LinkedIn Live show.
For me, it's I love meeting new people, and especially people in the industry, people that were could collaborate with and other stuff. And that's really what got me onto LinkedIn. But from a content standpoint, I never thought of myself as, I still don't think of myself as a content producer. I think I just share rando thoughts that I have, or life experiences. And that's really what kind of all the way through the live streaming stuff that we did before was really sharing life experiences or things that are happening now or things that we're thinking about. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that are thinking about the same things that all of us are. But if you can be the one that helps make people understand that, hey, we're not alone in our doubts, in our desires, and in things to be better in life and spiritually, mentally, whatever it is. That's one of the things that I really like to do, is to be able to share those thoughts and give people something to go, okay, let's think about it and do it. And that's kind of how my posting has evolved over the years, to really get into a structured format that does this, this, and this around a topic that I think was interesting to me.
Well, we'll get to you in a second here, Kurt, but let me probe a little bit more on that, because you use a lot of video, and it's not your own video always.
No.
And I'm curious, how do you don't have to give me the secret sauce, but how do you find these videos? How do you publish them? And you seem like you kind of take what the theme is of the video. What I really like about what you do is, and then you apply it to your expertise in your field.
Yeah. Well, I think there's things you can learn in any video that you look at, right? And you just have to connect the video with the thoughts that you have. And video in social media, any social media, you have to figure out, how do you get someone to stop and then really think about what's in the post, in the text part of the post. And I was against it for years, said, hey, I would never have put a baby, playing with a puppy in a video about something, the topic that's even close to that in business, right? Love your customer like your best friend or whatever, and put that puppy video. But when you combine the two, you get people that go, oh God, that's a cool video, that baby and that puppy. And then they read the post, and then you get relevant comments about the text of the post.
Mm-hmm.
And I began to realize that it's not just a gimmick, but what it is it really helps people to stop and pause and think about the post, and then they can share their thoughts on it. And I had somebody that showed me that, the process, how to do it. And it's not that difficult, but it's just one of those things that I think helps more people take a moment.
Yeah. I find that your videos are often uplifting too. So there's a lot of power behind them. Like you said, they stop the scroll, and they are generally very upbeat and life affirming and confidence boosting. So I really appreciate them. So thanks for those insights on that. Kurt, how are you using LinkedIn beyond LinkedIn Live? And you've been so active in the manufacturing community. It's amazing how many people you know and how many people know you. Tell us a little bit about your experience on LinkedIn beyond the live show.
I don't know if I can answer that, because it's because of the live show, so I'm absolutely not at Damon's level. So, I mean, he has, it's extremely admirable. And like you said, like what I love about this, for like two dudes at our age and stage, it's all about heart from my perspective with Damon.
Yep.
Like you're never going to be a more genuine, kind-hearted, thoughtful person than Damon Pastolka. And so when he puts those posts out, like he's genuinely every day, like, and he's there reminding people 7 days a week, like, this is what I'm thinking of. From my perspective, so I've been on LinkedIn for a while. I know, Damon, you've been on for ages. And it was more about the connections, and I started doing like LinkedIn training, like in early, 2011, 2012, that type of thing. So I've always been like super active on the connection side. I hate to do this to you, Greg. I have to throw back into LinkedIn Live what it does. Like you and I had the privilege of, you and I have been to the past 2 industrial marketing summits together. So what Damon and I did is, like, we intentionally we brought on all the speakers that were going to be speaking at the Industrial Marketing Summit coming up. They came on our show. So then when I go to the show, like, man, I know all the speakers, and it's like, it's just such a privilege. And you're friends with all of them, Megan, Jake Hall, Chris Lukey, the list goes on and on. Dale Bertrand, the keynote speaker, like, he's been on our show twice. It's an SEO masterclass. Like, I'm getting a free one-on-one with Dale, you know what I mean? And so then when you go to these events, or I'm super active with the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, MEPs. Those are in all 50 states. And so like, I walk into the conference of like the MEP, it's like, geez, we know 50 people because we interviewed 50 people, so it's it's hard for me now to separate the two, but just going on, connecting with people on LinkedIn, being thoughtful, intentional, and genuine, just the way Damon does. I think, my God, it's almost impossible not to be successful or make great relationships when you just go into it authentically. I know that sounds cliche, but that's how Damon does it.
So. It's the truth though, and you do it well.
Well, I think the connections and the relationships is the thing that often gets overlooked, especially, for people who are always thinking in terms of ROI, which we should all be doing, but it's harder to play the long game like you guys are. And I think that takes a lot of patience. What would you say to the executive out there or somebody who is in a thought leadership role who is a little reluctant? I would say, let's talk about a CEO or an executive. What would you tell them would be the benefit of getting on LinkedIn, posting, even just posting, connecting or doing anything like that? Any advice you would give to a CEO? Damon, let's start with you.
Well, you need to do it first. I mean, you have to. How do people get to know you, right? And especially and I think almost from a CEO's perspective, it's not as much about business, doing more business. It's about the people that are going to come and work with you, your people, your employees, suppliers, anything like that, especially employees, right? Because you're not hiring people that got white hair like me, right? You're hiring people that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, that they are looking at things like LinkedIn to see what is that company about. They're on, the Glassdoor, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Instagram looking at that company. And if it looks like a desert wasteland and, you don't even have a background picture in there, and the CEO, if the CEO is talking about their heart, their vision, where the company is going, who they are as a person, that is a huge thing for them to recruit better people. It's a huge thing for customers to come and look at it. It's like a calling card that just sits there and works for you.
Love that. Kurt, your thoughts. What would you say to a CEO who's maybe a little reluctant to throw their name out there and get on LinkedIn and get a little active?
Yeah, I want to be super mindful, respectful, where, maybe LinkedIn's not for everybody. Like I know some extremely successful, entrepreneurs where they're not active on LinkedIn and objectively probably just don't need to be, right? And they're doing perfectly fine without it. On the flip side of that, number one, it's free, right? It's so let's get that out of the way. Number two, it's, it passed 1 billion people. There's 1 billion people. So, all right, you get past those things, right? It's like from a B2B, especially in our manufacturing space, it is the B2B platform. Like if we said like, hey, there's a trade show next door and there's going to be 500 buyers of like your widgets, like, man, you'd sprint through the wall to get there. Well, guess what? Like they are all potentially on LinkedIn. From the LinkedIn Live standpoint, just a couple other things to shamelessly throw out. Like we bring our clients onto the show. We bring our clients on the show for SEO value for them. They get tons of backlinks, and we are just generally just gushing and just raving about how wonderful they are. And, and if it comes circles back, we get a glowing testimonial. Guess what, man? It's a live, video testimonial. We have dozens of testimonials on our website. Thanks to our live show. It tees it up so easily, right? For our referral partners, like folks that we want to highlight, where like Greg, we've referred folks back and forth over the years. And so like, I bring Greg on and then we get off the call like, hey, Kurt, by the way, I might have hey, Greg, geez, I just talked to somebody who needs help with writing a book. I think she'd be perfect for you and Sam, just again, it's all about building those the relationships, and boy, there's just great referral opportunities there. Right.
I think too, all three of us, we're all average Joes. First of all, let's make that clear. We're average Joes, but we all are a little bit older than maybe some other folks out there. We remember this world before there was an internet of all things. And what I think is truly amazing though about LinkedIn is you can get on, whatever, get on in the morning, and you can basically meet anybody anywhere in the world on this platform. And suddenly you're in touch with them. And then you make a connection and you're talking to them and you're meeting with them. I think it's, to me, that's what I love the most about LinkedIn, with all the negativity about a lot of other social media platforms. This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, there is so much good behind what goes on in LinkedIn.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, here's an example. And again, like when you say average, that might even be, you might be giving me the benefit of the doubt. How's that? But, Damon and I have had the privilege, like we've gone to Alaska to do work and consult, and we did our LinkedIn Live. So we traveled together. I've stayed with Damon and his wife at their home. We've celebrated, we've gone to NFL football games together. We've celebrated birthdays together. So, I mean, we've done a tremendous, like this has built an incredible relationship. Greg, again, like your son, Sam, have built an incredible relationship with you guys. Like my closest professional friends are thanks to LinkedIn. I tell, like, I don't know if I was stranded on a deserted island and like, hey, you need to start from scratch, what would you do? I'm like, man, I just need LinkedIn. I think I have a chance.
Yeah.
If you just give me a LinkedIn account, I might have a chance. Right. So Damon, what are your thoughts?
No, I think, yeah, if you have LinkedIn available to you, it's definitely a benefit. And because it can begin those relationships, like you said, Greg, meet anybody in the world on the platform and connect with them and start talking to them.
As our good friend Ingor would say, you are so right, Greg. LinkedIn helps us to link in no matter where we are. And you guys both know Ingor. And this is an example. Ingor is from South Africa, although I'm not sure where you live now, Ingor.
I think she's Toronto.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. But we chatted about your South African roots, and you just meet anybody anywhere. It's just fantastic. We're almost at the top of the hour here, guys. Give me parting shots here. Give me one or two tips you would pass along to everybody on how they can step up their LinkedIn game. Damon, I'm going to put you on. Kurt, you want to put you on the spot?
He's the LinkedIn guy, man.
Kurt first.
Kurt first. Gosh, so what's my tip for LinkedIn is, we've look at Ingrid, like Damon. I'm like flashing to like all the guests that we've had on. I'm like, and we've done like literally, we haven't added up. It's like hundreds because we go twice a week. We do like we first started like, hey, we'll go weekly. Then we're like, hey, let's go twice. We have times that we go 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
It's like we find so much value, and it's just a good fit for us, right? We had a woman come on. Remember Winnie Benjamin? Winnie came on. She's from Cleveland, and she said, you know what? And like people confess, like things, problems, challenges. And she goes, you know what? I'm a woman of deep faith. And she goes, I feel I have it's a God-given obligation to exhaust my God-given talents on a daily basis. That's my, God gave me a gift, gave me these gifts. My gift back to God is to exhaust those talents, regardless of where you are faith-wise. And like, it was just like so powerful the way she shared that. I'm like, man, LinkedIn is just a great way. Like, hey, exhaust your God-given talents, give everything you've got, and just help, anybody you can, and make a great living and provide for your family in the process. That's my takeaway. Damon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just concur with what Kurt's saying. I mean, if you're thinking about, should I? Yes, you should. You should go in there and just see, hey, do I have 6 friends that I know that I should connect with, and start with them, and or people you kind of want to know, start trying to connect with them and say hello. And the relationships that you can build are life-changing if you go into it with hey, I just want to create a relationship here. I'm not coming in to sell something. I'm coming in to create a relationship, see what's going on in life and business, and then see what happens. Right? Because if you don't do that first, it's always, we talk about, you got to do business human to human, and you got to get to know the humans first before you start to do any business, and don't even think about the business, because that may never come, and that's just fine, because you met another great human. I mean, you start with that level. For me, it's the business will happen, you know.
Right.
What's his name said, if you help, it shouldn't say what's his name. If you help
Zig
enough
Ziglar.
people, Zig Ziglar. Yeah. If you help enough people, you get everything you need. And I think it's true.
Yeah. Yep. Help enough
love
people achieve their dreams. It helps
Yep.
achieve your dream, you know? So
Yep.
drop the mic, Damon. Well done.
Drop that mic. Yep. Ubuntu, Ingar, very accurate.
I love when she drops that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, guys, top of the hour here. Thank you both so much for joining us. Where can people find you? Let me guess.
My basement.
And
Damon's basement.
LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn, connect with these guys. They are truly LinkedIn legends and great people. I always uplifted when I'm chatting with you two guys. Really enjoy it. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Right back at
Thanks
you.
for having
And
me.
so, you know what, Greg, and share your dad's story out there sometime. Have your dad come on the live show, because that's a story that
Yeah.
your dad
That'd
is
be
such
awesome.
an inspiration to me. That is, I will never. I cherish the story of your father, and so maybe that should be one of your episodes. How's that?
Yeah.
I have to help him with the computer to get on the show, but
Hey, Sharon's here. Hey, Sharon.
yeah, and call out
Sam's
from
here. You know what? Like that.
Hey, Sam.
Are you, Sharon? Are you guys adopting by any chance? Like, I want to be. I'm like, are you looking for like a 57-year-old, adopted son by any chance? I want to be.
Yeah,
brothers, I want to be brothers with Matthew or with
you're
Sam.
gonna have to ask her because I'm gonna pass on that. My hands are full with the dog, so
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk, Sharon. We'll talk later. So,
yeah.
hey, congratulations
thanks,
on your
guys.
daughter getting married, Greg.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. And that's it from this episode of Thought Leaders.